Good morning, friends. This is Chandrakant from Akulmac Technologies. Welcome to Top Brass. And let me also welcome my friend from UK, Mr. Naval Gone.
Good morning, CK. Good morning, everybody. It's a funny start of the week in the UK, but it was an end of a week for you last week. I'm sure there were lots of celebrations on the Independence Day. So happy anniversary, belated anniversary. So what anything new announced because of the anniversary celebrations?
So, thank you very much, Naval. In fact, it was a big celebration the whole day. And usually on Independence Day, the Prime Minister goes to the Red Fort, which is also called Lal Killa in our native language. And it is one of the largest fort in entire Asia Pac. I think it's among the top five forts in the world after the Chinese fort, which is the largest as we know it, the Forbidden City. So usually the tradition is that the Prime Minister makes a lot of announcements, give a lot of update to the nation, and 15th of August speech everybody looks at because there will be a consolidated information provided by the Prime Minister. So one of the things that he mentioned as a start, I mean, he talked about many things, Neville, but one of the things that he mentioned is about providing nationwide health card to every citizen of India, and that is big because this program will now commence.
No, that is really big, and of course, for people that are outside of India, they don't know, but you already have an identity card. So this is this would be a natural knock-on effect, and I'm sure COVID maybe has pushed your health industry into this arena, don't you think?
Absolutely, and Prime Minister mentioned about that. He also gave examples of countries like U.S., Italy, especially Italy, which used to boast that they have the world best health infrastructure. And look what has happened. So it is it's a wake up call for everyone, including India. And he said that we already have Aadhaar. Now, just to give you a little information about the Aadhaar card, which is a national ID, it is very unique program. It was started about 10 years back or maybe 9 years back, and it is mandatory for every citizen of India. Without registering into Aadhaar, you can't do anything. You can't buy land, you can't even open a bank account. And once you have an Aadhaar card with you, it is a biometrics based system. So it has your iris record and it has your all fingers records. So, and it is centralized. Say, for example, you change your address, it is completely online. You just go to Aadhaar website, change your address. So it is already running. It has the biometrics. Suppose you want to buy a property, all you have to do show your ID, and your property get linked to your Aadhaar card, which is national ID. So that kind of infrastructure for so many people is already running, and that is why I think we all have a lot of confidence that any nationwide program which is digital or information based will be successful in India, uh, primarily because there is a willingness of people and also systems availability.
That's great because I mean, I dream of having that sort of access in the UK. I mean, from a health perspective, although we have a national health number here, there are so many different systems that even if I were to move from one district to another, there's no guarantee that all of my records digitally stored in one location can actually be accessed by the other location. So I think this is a fantastic move forward, and I'm sure actually it will help with COVID because it will presumably identify some of those hotspots. Because every time you go to a hospital, you'll presumably show your national health card, even if you're showing your identity card as well. So I think this is a tremendous way forward, frankly. And clearly, India's already got over the privacy issues that many other countries have with regards to national ID cards. And all of this, need to make sure all of this data is really secure and can't be hacked by unscrupulous people that just spend their time on the dark web hacking away just to find out where vulnerabilities are. But I'm sure you were given all the assurances that you needed to have, CK, and you being an IT guy as well, will know that these things are pretty paramount these days, in days of hacking.
Yeah, certainly, Neville. In fact, it has gone through the scrutiny. It has various versions which are released, publicly announced. It has also gone to various court cases where some of the people said that I will not give my biometrics because it is prone to all these issues that you just mentioned. It can be misused, it can be stolen, blah blah blah. But the government has proven in the highest court of India, which is the Supreme Court, that nothing can happen to it. And because there is a privacy law, just like in UK and rest of the other, prominent countries, we also have a privacy law, which is very, very strict. It is part of the Constitution. And as part of the Constitution, the government of India has to respect each citizen's privacy and the way he wants to actually exercise his privacy. So the law is shaped in such a way that for the national ID, if you don't want to give your biometrics, it's your choice. But the downside is when you go to the bank, they will say that this is mandatory. And if you go to IT, they'll say it is mandatory and so on. So legally, there is no bondage. People can choose not to give their biometrics. But I think it's a choice of the people. So by and large, I think almost like 94 to 95% India is covered under the National ID project. And coming back to the National Health Card, it is going to be a number. So I think in future, these health card and the National ID can be merged together very well so that people don't have to carry multiple cards with them. The idea is you go in any part of India, you don't have to carry your records. You just carry your health ID. You can go to any hospital, any doctor, any dispensary, and your data can be retrieved, your past history, your vitals, and when the test was done, what was the result, all that will be available to the new doctor at which you are present at that point in time. So it's going to be very good help to the citizen. And one more thing I'd like to tell you, Neville, there is a world largest health protection program run by India. It is even bigger than Obamacare. And interestingly enough, this is called Modi Care. It is named as Modi Care. It's a joke. It is a national it is a national health protection system for citizens, where up to almost like $30,000 worth of healthcare will be provided to citizens of India absolutely free. So that includes even minor operations as well.
Well, that's excellent. And as you say, once you move from one doctor to the next, one physician to the next, one hospital to the next, it really does speed up the consultancy. And at the end of the day, this is the 21st century, and we're after having the best information available at the right time so that we can make the best decision. So I fully support what India and your Prime Minister's doing, whether it's Modi Care or whatever.
That was a joke.
No, I know. Well, it's a bit like Obamacare. I mean, that was a bit of a joke as well. It wasn't, the bill didn't say Obamacare at the top of it. So, but the point is, every leader needs to. Here's a message: every leader needs to leave a legacy. So, I suppose what we should be saying to everybody: what's your legacy today? Maybe that's a good point to end on. What's your legacy? Don't have to answer it, but people will see what your legacy is by what you do.
Absolutely. I think Modi has become a very big global leader. Especially, he was voted by 600 million people, and he is actually doing a lot of things for people. So, whether they're, India is a federal country. It has multiple states with variety of. You can compare India with European Union. So you can imagine Modi as a leader who's heading something like European Union. He's been voted by 600 million people, so it's a huge chunk of population. And I think it's an area in the world for which Modi is working, not one country. So I think that's the difference, and definitely this dispensation is going to leave a lot of legacy uh, in next couple of years.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, as we say, leaving a legacy is important. So let's hope that the legacy is long lasting.
I think so because the changes are quite elaborate, quite binding, and the problems which India had all these years have been ironed out. More unification. So I think it's not only starting of a program; it's the entire back end of that before the launch of the program is being sorted out first. I think the last 5 years were spent in sorting out the issues which are related. For example, if there is a benefits which has to go to a poor, it was never reaching the poor. There was always a middleman. So they have sorted it out by a national ID project. Now, if some government has to send a benefit direct to the needy, it goes directly into his account. It's a direct transfer from government. So it is called direct benefit transfer. And
It sounds like direct benefit is where it should be. So you cut the middlemen out because there are far too many middlemen, taking their cut. And of course, the problem is the cost of the healthcare is always going to be the same. So if people are taking 5%, 10%, 20% out along the way, people are not getting the value of the healthcare because they can only afford 75% of what they need.
Absolutely. In fact, this is a very exciting development I wanted to share after the PM speech on 15th of August. And this is a bit of information. I think there is lots to it. If you find time, you can do a little bit digging into Google. But I think we can end our discussion today at this point, and we will meet tomorrow again.
Certainly will. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the day, CK, and I'll see you tomorrow.
See you. Bye bye.